Good morning. I'm going to start with the number that should keep every one of us awake at night. Three. Three aspirations in 18 months. Two patients are in ICU and one on ventilator for a week. All three told us they fasted, and we believed them. But their stomach can have different motility, and we have policy problem. Our current NPO guidelines are based on time, not on physiology, and physiology can differ from one person to another. A diabetic patient, for example, or opioid user can have a full stomach after 12 hours of fasting. A trauma patient with a delay to work can have a solid food sitting there even though they haven't eaten since yesterday. We are guessing, and guessing is risky in our profession. Today, I am asking you to stop guessing and start mandatory perioperative gastric point of care ultrasound for every high risk elective patient and every emergency surgery. This is a noted experimental, and it is not nice to have. Gastric focus gives us a direct window into the stomach in 90 seconds. We classify empty, clear fluid, or solid. If it is solid or too much fluid, we don't induce blindly. We delay, we modify, we do an awake intubation and save lives. The cost is $48,000. And here's my promise. If you approve this policy within 6 months, we will have zero aspiration in patients who received a perioperative gastric scan. We will become the regional leader in aspiration prevention, and more importantly, no family will ever sit in that waiting room wondering why we didn't look before. I'm passionate about this because I was an anesthetist for that second case of aspiration. I followed the rules, and patient followed the rules, and still aspirated. I'm not asking for permission to try something new. I'm asking for you to join me in making a standard of care that should have existed probably a few years ago. Let's stop managing the fasting time. Let's start managing the gastric content. Let me show you something. So we trust the clock, but the stomach does not obey the clock. After those three events, we reviewed the literature. Up to 1 in 3 high-risk patients still have significant gastric content despite meeting NPO rules. So we're flying blind. And as literature shows, this number goes up to 30% of high-risk patients. The delayed gastric emptying could be the consequence of the diabetes, opioid use, GERD, pregnancy, trauma, and all three aspiration cases in our hospital, again, for 18 months, followed the rules. So this is not complicated. 90 seconds, I will show you three images. Empty antrum, go ahead. Clear fluid, rapid sequence. Solid food, we do not induce. That's simple. And we document the image. No more the high yod like she said or he said or any kind of verbal story about the fasting history. We can have image which can be attached to the patient assessment in perioperative room. So also we can add some kind of quantitative criteria, less than 1.5 ml per kilogram RSI if it's clear fluid, if it's solid, or more than 1.5 ml per kilogram delay or awake intubation. So the problem is kind of urgent because right now we might have one of the patient who is preparing for tomorrow morning surgery and still have a full stomach despite an 8-hour fast. The cost, for example, in trauma surgery of those aspiration complications could be from 1 million to 1.5 annually. So the cost of our program and new policy, $48,000. From them, 36 can go to the two machines because we already have one focus machine in our perioperative room. Training 2 hours per person, and we have approximately 40 anesthesia providers. We can implement new template for our assessment form, which will not cost to our hospital because we can use resources of our internal IT. So to make our workflow seamless, we start pilot in ED in next 6 months. By month 6, it is standard of care for every elective high risk and every emergency case. So this is not a heavy lift for our hospital. I will personally track every single scan. I will report to this board every quarter. And if we will scan patient and still have an aspiration, I will stand here and explain why. But I know it won't happen because we have technology, we will have new policy, and we will have evidence.